cranking the 10. We pulling the pin and bombing they spot. Cheer from the stands, I hate from the benches. We in the trenches, fought off the block. Champion fam, my mission to rock. Pressing they mans, I'm blitzing the op. Go get it in and double your ends and stack up your wins. And guess what you got? Money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. One shot, last shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. One shot, last shot, money shot, money shot.
If you guys need fast, cheap, reliable coins for your ultimate team, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Team. This is Mad Money Shots. I'm at the college cheese as always. In today's video, we're in the college football playoffs, so we're going to have to pull out all the stops and pull out our best offense and defense. And I'm going to show you guys what both of those are. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, it's going to get right into the video. Now, when it comes to the regular season, I'm messing around with a lot of different teams. As I showed you guys a really good offense out of Georgia Tech's playbook just yesterday. But when it's win or go home, I got to pull out my best offense and defense in the entire game in my Alabama offensive and defensive ebooks. If you guys want more information about this, you can check out the links in the description or the top pinned comment to download these instantly. Now, the 4-2-5 defense is in a lot of different playbooks, but the reason I like this offense so much is because it has one of the most broken formations in the game in the gun tight open, which is a pretty common formation, but this playbook has a lot of uncommon plays like the motion RPO read flat, which is only found in 4 different playbooks. As I call this play first, but of course I can't run it without getting the traditional 5-yard penalty to start the game. I mean, what's the point of having a full play clock if they're going to get you for a penalty every single time you get under 5 seconds? No big deal though, as I get all that back and then some on the very next play, as these 2 receivers here are just absolutely overpowered when it comes to blocking, whether it's man or zone. As you can see, these guys are picking up multiple defenders with their blocks. As this is one of the most overpowered RPO plays in the entire game, which I recently broke down in a video. I showed you guys the 5 most overpowered plays in College Football 26. So if you guys want to see that, I will have links in the description as well as on screen at the end of the video and also popping up in the top right hand corner right now. The real reason I like to use this playbook though is the PA scissors play out of the same formation, as this is one of the most overpowered plays in the entire game, which is another play that I broke down in a previous video that I'll have on screen at the end of the video. As all you really have to do is put the X receiver on a streak and then custom stem down this Y route, and this setup can pretty much score against every single defense in the game.
Break yourself, fool!
Do it!
On defense, there's really only 2 formations that I'm using in the entire game, as my favorite base defense is definitely the 3-3-5 penny, and that's because it's the biggest defense in this entire playbook. I just want to make sure that I substitute my fastest linebackers with high zone coverages at these outside edges here, as they're either going to be dropping in coverage or getting in unblocked, so speed and zone coverage are the most important things. But because I'm setting all this up, I don't have enough time to actually pick my own plays. The computer picks some sort of press cover 3-man that my opponent tries to beat over the top.
How about no?
But my next drive is an absolute disaster, as we take a massive sack to push me back to 3rd and 25 before I get another delay of game penalty with 3 seconds left on the play clock.
This is #1 bullshit.
That pushes me back to a 3rd and 30 that I ultimately have to punt to get out of. On defense, there's 2 different plays I like to use. One of them is just a regular cover 3 sky, while the other is the Saw Blitz 3, as these are both basically the same except one's matching and one's non-matching. As both of these defenses are very highly customizable base defenses that I can do a lot of different things with, whether I want to drop everybody back into zone coverage or if I want to send everybody on a blitz. Regardless of which one of these you want to do on any given play, you can bring up the adjustments for these players very quickly by hitting the D-pad to the left twice, as we're going to be putting the X and B defenders on either zones or blitzes on every single play. Now on this first play here, since there's 3 receivers on the right side and also the majority of the field space on the right side, I'm always going to react by putting this defensive edge defender defender on a hard flat to protect that area. That will create a Mabel concept to that side, since that's the most likely area of the field that the play is going to go. Now the edge defender on the other side of the field is a little bit different, as we're close to the sideline, so I don't really have to worry about the hard flat on that side as much. So I'm just going to put him in a vert hook to help me out in coverage over the middle, as these are the only two players that I'm going to adjust on any given play, but it'll change based off of the situation, the down and distance, or where my opponent is on the field, which I'll go over throughout the course of this video. The last step is going to be what you do as a user. On this play here, since I'm basically playing an off zone coverage, I'm going to stand about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage just in case my opponent runs the ball, as this will make sure that I'm not targeted by the lineman, which will often allow me to shoot gaps and stop run plays by myself. And this is pretty much going to be the exact same setup since I'm still on this hash mark, only this time I'm going to use the hook curl that I create with the defensive end on the left side. And that's because this is the defender with the least amount of user responsibility on the play. Because in matching zone coverages, these three zones are going to match the three receivers in front of them, which means that if I use any of the preset zones in this defense, that I'm responsible for the coverage assignment. But the adjustments that I make to these edge defenders are not. On 3rd and 8, he has all of his receivers to the short side of the field, so we don't hard flat this time, because we just put both of these edges into zone hooks over the middle, and nothing gets open as he has to take a coverage sack to force a 4th and 18. He tries to hurry me and go for it by switching formations and flipping to the other side of the field, which completely glitches out my defense.
No!
Back on offense, since I'm probably too close for a one-play touchdown from here, I'm going to switch over to the gun bunch open offset, as this is one of my favorite formations to use in this entire playbook as well. As the widespread formation a lot of times can expose the middle of the field for some easy run plays, as we switch over to the inside zone from our audibles to get inside the 10. But it also has one of the most unstoppable plays in the game in the dig return, as pretty much all these routes in the bunch can beat either man or zone. But when I see him pressing what looks like a cover 2, I decide to go to the other side of the field and put the B receiver on a 10-yard in route, while also putting the running back on a check down curl over the middle of the field, before I pre-diagnose a little too early to the in route, realizing that the running back was left wide open. So I run the exact same play again, and sure enough, he's wide open over the middle for the touchdown. Back on defense, since he's down 2 scores and I assume he's going to start passing, I decided to start blitzing. As there's a very easy setup you can do where all you really have to do is leave these edge defenders in their blitz assignments before taking your user middle linebacker and hovering the nose tackle to the point where it's going to bring these blockers inside, and a lot of times let these edge rushers get in free. This setup can make it easier for you to get blocked on run plays, but you can see how I still get around the edge and make the stop. I try to run that blitz again on the next play before he runs an outside zone and gets his biggest play of the game and his only first down of the game so far, as he's literally only had one positive play of the entire game against his defense so far, which was a 2-yard run on the second drive of the game. The reality is, the more you blitz, the more it's going to open up the field because you have less zone coverages. So on the next play, I try that blitz one more time, he picks it up, and the running back is wide open over the middle on a check and release route. So this is why I typically prefer to run the zone variation more often. As my opponent hits me with a play fake on the next play, and he must have had some sort of controller malfunction here, as he appears to accidentally truck stick when trying to push in the right stick to throw the ball away. One of the reasons I like cover 3 match over regular cover 3 is the matching principles of this defense with the seam flat defender will cover up one of the biggest weaknesses of the entire defense, which is the cover 3 seam right behind him, which is typically pretty vulnerable against 3 wide receiver sets to one side like this. But on this play, he's going to turn and run with that receiver, and we get an incomplete pass because we have a defender over the top and underneath. On the next play, he tries to run a crossing route from the shallow side this time, and since it's 3rd and 21, he has to force it up for the game-ending interception, as my opponent is going to rage quit a playoff game.
Playoffs? Are you kidding me?
As my opponent literally had negative yards against his defense at almost halftime and had more turnovers than first downs. So give this defense a try and let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you want to see more about the offensive plays that I was running, I'll have those videos popping up on screen, so just click the links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.